All right, April 19th, 2022. Yeah, Tuesday. Guys, it's Nicole, otherwise known as Mystic Skywatcher, Truther 2, Agent Orange Baby, Mad AM. Pick which one suits your fancy. All right, so getting my notifications like that. Whoa. Sorry, guys, got some technical difficulties. So I started my stream early. So I wanted to go over some things before I go to bed. However, one of those things was to do with my last video. My last video, there was an orb that shot out, and now I got to find it because I seen it, watching it from my large screen. Then I come out here and I thought I time stamped it in my mind, but I can't find it. However, this is a different type of orb than I've ever seen before. This is dark energy. In that last video, the Lush that has been attacking me today. Oh my gosh. I never seen a dark orb. A dark orb went right to my head. Like like manifestation of like like a ball of like darkness shot into my face in my last video, guys. I'm not joking. So I was trying to find that, but then I decided just to come on here because I don't know where I'm going with this, but I do know where I'm going with this because I want to talk to you guys about what's going on with the Lush and all these interdimensionals, these spirits, the demons, because everybody's feeling emotional and energetic roller coaster ride lately. And that has to do with the sun, the solar and cosmic energies affecting our DNA. All right. So anybody wants to pull some garbage that I'm just acting all crazy because of my divorce? No, there's more. It's more divine than that. Okay. It has to do with solar and cosmic energies, and it's changing our DNA. Okay. Just want everybody to be aware of what's going on for real. Okay. And next, then we have, we all have this feeling. Here's a video by Gina Marie Colvin Hill documenting these feelings. Here's another channel called EE Arts. Great video. Helped me lift my light yesterday and make my dance video. That video right there. Okay. Then we have The Shadow, which I'm well aware of. And yeah, you gotta know how to, you gotta be really in tune with yourself, guys. So, this is a tricky world. It's a tricky matrix simulated world we live in. And here's where I want to tell you guys about something. I just got done watching Laura Eisenhower, the video that she just did, and her guest. Oh my God, so on topic. So everything in that video, and she just put it out. So I really didn't want to come on here and copy it, put it out there for her, but I will tomorrow possibly because she's gonna leave it up only 2 days, and I'm gonna show you the videos on my playlist. Playlists with an S. So yeah, that video explains everything exactly with the snake venom, with this Lush, with these energies, reincarnation, you name it, everything, and them collecting our light source. These demons collecting our light source. And that's when my last video earlier, that's what something did. Like this little black, like dot of something, energy came towards my face in my video. I've seen it. So I'll have to timestamp it and watch it again and figure it out because I have lots of videos that I found of me recently with these orbs. One when I said microchips, when they're throwing down what they're throwing down out of the planes. Yeah, and I said chips. A freaking orb came out of my head. And I can pull that up in a minute. But, I'm trying to keep all my orb videos together because now I can't find that one earlier. I can find it. It's just I got to rewatch my video again. And I didn't really want to rewatch it again. Because sometimes I have to watch my videos when something tells me, Lori, watch this video. Whether you're analyzing yourself, or there's a reason, and it has to do with these orbs. And I couldn't believe it. I've never seen a dark one because I had some dark shit happen to me today. This dark demon I married. Yeah. So, okay, I got 3 people in here and nobody's chatting. So listen to this. This is a video that I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. I'm just saying. The shadow. Carl Jung's warning to the world. I think everybody should understand what this is all about. You'll understand more about yourself.
Carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. If an inferiority is conscious, one always has a chance to correct it. But if it is repressed and isolated from consciousness, it never gets corrected, and is liable to burst forth suddenly in a moment of unawareness. At all counts, it forms an unconscious snag, thwarting our most well-meant intentions. Carl Jung talks about 2 types of shadows: the personal shadow, the unknown dark side of our personality, and the collective shadow, the unknown dark side of society. Starting with the personal shadow, Jung calls it the thing a person has no wish to be. It represents unknown or little known attributes and qualities of the ego. It is the sum of all those unpleasant qualities we like to hide from ourselves. The shadow contains inferiorities which everybody has but prefers not to know about. They seem weak, socially unacceptable, or even evil. The shadow is most visible when one is in the grip of anxiety or other emotions, under the influence of alcohol, etc. One may suddenly blurt out a hostile remark during a friendly conversation. When we do not want to assimilate what we despise, we project it onto others. It is possible for one to be acquainted with one's shadow and be partly conscious of it, that is, under ego control. Many people, however, refuse to recognize their shadow so completely that the ego is not even aware of shadow behavior and thus has no possibility of commanding it. Under these conditions, the shadow is autonomous and may express itself in inexplicable moods, irritability, and cruelty. Throughout his writing, Jung refers to the importance of developing awareness of the shadow in psychotherapy and its projections in the individual's life. Although the shadow is usually perceived as negative, it can also be positive. In fact, exploring our shadow gives us access to many positive qualities. Jung writes that the shadow displays a number of good qualities, such as normal instincts, appropriate reactions, realistic insights, creative impulses, etc. One of Jung's closest collaborators, Marie-Louise von Franz, writes, "The shadow is not necessarily always an opponent. In fact, he is exactly like any human being with whom one has to get along, sometimes by giving in, sometimes by resisting, sometimes by giving love. Whatever the situation requires, the shadow becomes hostile only when he's ignored or misunderstood."
The ancient Egyptians understood that they could use sound to reduce their weight.
The shadow contains all sorts of qualities, strengths, and potentials, which, if remain unexplored, give us a state of impoverishment in our personality, creating unconscious snags which inhibit the growth and embodiment of these good qualities that lie dormant in our psyche. For instance, a person might believe that being assertive is being rude or aggressive, losing the qualities of confidence and the ability to speak up for himself in an honest and respectful way, which in turn may lead to less proactivity, make it more difficult to get a raise or job promotion, struggle with money, and so on. So, when a person encounters an assertive person, deep down he feels resentment and guilt, which makes his shadow blacker and denser. These valuable aspects ought to be assimilated into actual experience and not repressed. It is up to the ego to give up its pride. We also encounter our shadow in our dreams. As a person of the same sex as the dreamer, it is what seems to be a criticism of our character from the unconscious, an inner judge of your own being that reproaches you, and the result is usually embarrassed silence. We must identify the contents of the shadow and integrate them into our personality. This is the process of the realization of the shadow, also known as shadow work. Here begins the painfully and lengthy work of self-education. One must enter into long and difficult negotiations with the shadow, a work, we might say, that is the psychological equivalent. Through shadow work, one can observe one's shadow outwardly by watching one's emotional reactions and being radically honest about one's interactions with others, and inwardly by exploring one's dreams. This allows one to become enlightened and reduces the shadow's destructive potential, not so much as it were by waging war against the darkness, but by bringing the darkness to the light to the darkness. As Jung writes, there is no light without shadow, and no psychic wholeness without imperfection. One must not strive for perfection, but rather wholeness of personality. The lifelong process of individuation creates a balance between one's conscious and unconscious realms, aligning the ego to the self, the totality of one's personality. However scary or dark it is to confront our shadow, finding truth brings relief. Discernment of the truth is the process of authenticity, a painstaking excavation into the depths of our being to explore possibilities and limitations, distortions, and the buried and often forgotten parts of ourselves and abilities. Most people, however, are too indolent to think deeply about even those moral aspects of their behavior of which they are conscious, let alone to consider how the unconscious affects them. The shadow can also consist of factors that stem from a source outside the individual's personal life. Here's when we stumble upon the collective shadow, the dark side or the unknown or little known aspects of a society and culture. It consists of that which opposes our shared and collective values. The collective shadow refers to a huge, multidimensional, often horrifying, yet elusive aspect of human life, to an immensity of harm inflicted by human beings upon each other and the natural world, and to the vast after effects of such harm in subsequent generations. We find the collective shadow in the projection of darkness and inferiority, in violence and oppression, in the invisibility of current suffering, in the denial of current responsibility. While collective shadow material may be acted out brutally in wars, massacres, and genocides, it may also hide under the often attractive cloaks of missionary activity, such as mandating the use of particular languages, an Orwellian reality that we are experiencing in the present time. As is the nature of all shadow material, whether individual or collective, its existence and influence may be pervasive without being obvious. The collective shadow manifests outwardly in atrocities, persecution, physical suffering, sickness, poverty, malnutrition, alcoholism, crime, the death of cultures, and so on. It may also manifest more inwardly amid the complexities of each individual psyche as hatred toward oneself, one's heritage, and one's culture, depression and feelings of impotence, the desire for revenge so that others might experience something like one's own pain, etc. The collective shadow is what has historically been labeled evil. In the Christian tradition, it would be the devil, and someone who's possessed by the devil loses his human quality and acquires a demonic nature. Our primary response to evil, for Jung, must be the quest for self-knowledge, for wholeness, which presumes the assimilation of shadow material. The individual must know relentlessly how much good he can do and what crimes he's capable of. When there is an issue known in a particular society, it can be called a shadow issue if there's evidence of denial, projection, and a lack of taking individual and collective responsibility. Therefore, taking responsibility morally, politically, and spiritually is particularly crucial. The courage with which we bear our darkness frees others from having to carry it for us. For instance, to respond to examples of massive historical suffering, wars, genocide, holocausts, pervasive oppression, etc., the effects of which persist. As human beings, we have much to learn in that regard. Denial, often connected with a wish to get on with things and put the past behind us, seems the most common approach and usually the first reaction. There are and have been many attempts to deal with difficult, painful pasts through public apologies for supporting atrocities, repentance, reparation payments after wars, pilgrimages to places of great suffering, etc. But how do we deal with the past in such a way that the integration of the shadow occurs deeply and broadly within a population rather than simply at a symbolic level through leaders or policies? Remembering and speaking what often seems unspeakable is inevitably a painful process for victims and perpetrators, bystanders, and witnesses. Any such process can only be regarded as successful or reasonably complete once the pain, outrage, betrayal, suffering, and all other feelings have been voiced and heard, and once responsibility has been taken. Truth-telling is both the most desirable and the most feasible way to grapple with a difficult past. One example of a terrible mass psychosis represented by the collective shadow is Nazi Germany, where people fell into the demonic nature through the personal shadow. They joined the Nazi party and did worse things than they could ever have imagined or would have done under normal social conditions. In this sense, the personal shadow is the bridge to the collective shadow. Therefore, it is important to solve one's inner conflicts first, one's personal shadow, so that one does not fall into the collective shadow unconsciously. One may then later influence other people, and society would be better off as a whole. If we practice mindfulness, we will know how to look deeply into the nature of war and, with our insight, wake people up so that together we can avoid repeating the same horrors again and again. The war is in us, but is also in everyone. Everything is ready to explode, and we are all co-responsible. To summarize, we must first acknowledge our personal shadow and enter into long and difficult negotiations with it, being honest with ourselves and our interactions with others, watching our emotional reactions and exploring our dreams, in order to not become passive victims of our shadow and of our unconscious projections, allowing us to rescue the good qualities that lie dormant within us, which improves our lives and the lives of those around us. We can then be consciously aware of the collective shadow and not fall prey to it, and take responsibility to address the denial of important issues and the lack of individual and collective initiative. The courage of bearing our darkness brings relief to others, as telling the truth is the most desirable way to deal with a difficult past, rather than dismissing the atrocities and having the shadow grow blacker until it can grow no more, and thus history repeats itself. I hope you enjoyed this video on the shadow. You can support the channel on Patreon.
All right, guys. I hope that explains some things to some people that might not know about the old shadow and all. Okay, this is that channel. I'm starting not to feel good. Imagine that, because I'm streaming in this room. So that's how that works. What a great video, right? Sorry, guys. Yeah, I get thrown off track by lots. The frequencies, mind farts, lots of mind farts. I was watching Laura Eisenhower, and it happened to her many times. Just when I'm thinking about finding things to pull up, like as they come through my brain, they leave really fast. It's like, oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah. So there's that video. Okay, I came across this channel the other day, thanks to Bang Bang's channel that I've been sharing, one of my mods over here. And yeah, I found this cat. And I like his thinking. I like his free thought, open mind thinking. It says TC802 is his channel. So I'm just gonna play this video. I don't know why, but something drew me to this video, and I watched it like a week or two ago. I don't know. Here we go.
Quick video, touch base on Jeff Snyder's.
Can you hear him?
One of the videos he did here recently, he was telling how a lot of the stuff we're seeing over.
Can you guys hear? Because I can't. Oh boy.
In Ukraine. Okay, we're seeing a lot of tanks blowing up and a lot of stuff blowing up, a lot of cars, a lot of stuff on fire. A lot of this stuff, if not almost all of this stuff, is happening.
Oh, I can't hear anything. Hold on.
And literally blowing
If
stuff
you guys
up.
can hear,
It
that's
happens
good.
on certain parts
I don't
of the
know.
world.
I don't think I can.
First, it happens stronger in certain parts of the world at different latitudes. The strength will increase or decrease. There's a lot of variances that play in this. That's why Jeff's getting plasma electricity out there, and we're not getting anything here on the East Coast. We don't ever get any of that stuff for a couple of reasons. One being out there, the ground structure has more crystalline layers, which allows for more piezo discharges, which would be your lights in the sky. The piezo lighters, the little clicky ones, that's a piezo crystal. It's a crystal. Once it gets vibrated, or they make it vibrate somehow, and they use the energy from that crystal. But anyways, these crystals produce energy. So when the ground starts flicking these things, they increase the power of earthquakes. They make lights. They make UFOs that people think that are UFOs, and they create fires, and they create ground lightning. And we have wicked ground lightning coming, bad ground lightning coming. It's starting already. So the stuff that's happening over there, this is how they're going to do it, and this has been well documented, and everything that they've documented up to this point has come true. They're going to gauge the war by this event that's happening. Okay, the whole point is to make the event coincide with the alien invasion, which is supposed to unite the world under the New World Order. Okay, remember Ronald Reagan said it would take that one thing that would bring everybody together. Could you imagine? It would take aliens to invade. Okay, now what's ramping up? UFOs. What's being disclosed? UFOs. Okay, they go together. The stuff that's going on over in the war. Okay, this is going to escalate. Okay, we're going to see bigger explosions. We're going to see more explosions, and we're going to see more fires out west. It's going to get worse. The tornadic activity in the Midwest is going to get real bad. It's already happening. Look at the storms we've got now, guys, right now. Okay, this is going to get worse. It's going to be bad this summer. Okay, I can usually pause this thing. Not let me this time. But anyways, so basically what's going to happen is when the event happens, they're going to say that it's nuclear weapons because they know where it's going to happen. They know all this stuff. They've hidden this stuff for years, And then when it gets real bad, it'll happen in stages. I'm sure, guys. I'm sure it's not going to just be one pop, and then done. No, it's going to happen in stages because there's stages that happen prior to it. Okay, our days are shorter. We're missing actual daylight, and this will continue to grow shorter. Our crops will fail to grow. Our cattle and our animals and stuff will suffer as a consequence. Our DNA will suffer as a consequence. We will have more sicknesses for us. It'll just be more. And this is what happens when we have more pressure in our world and things start coming to an end. We are plasma. It's the first thing they take out of our blood when we give blood. Well, one of the first things. Okay, so getting off track. Things are when the
Guys, this is painful because I can't engage. I have no idea what he's talking about because I can't hear anything on my end. I don't know where the sound went. As long as you guys can hear it, this is 14 minutes long. Still got 10 minutes. But I don't know what he's talking about. And I watched this video 2 weeks ago. So this is the kind of frustrating shit that I deal with. Demon shit. This is demonic shit that happens. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Thank you, Brenda. Yeah. This is the type of demonic stuff that I deal with constantly. I'm an emotional roller coaster. I know. I'm a very expressive person, as you guys know. I talk with my hands and my mouth, my mind. But yeah, that last video is outrageous because you know why? I had a demon. I had some damn force of black mist of whatever, ghosty shadow, something fly into my cheek, my face, towards the ending of that video. And this video, I know I watched it last week and he's talking about, he's deep in this video. That's why I was going to share it. And I can't hear anything because, again, this is the kind of stuff that goes on in my life. You know, I'm waiting for a phone call. My daughter is supposed to call me. My children have their second day of school. My daughter has her first day of school in a real indoctrination centers, Christian Academy. You know, I haven't talked to my children, haven't seen them. Promises, you know, that are never fulfilled. Finding out last night in the middle of the night by my Facebook account, by checking my messenger that I don't even ever go on. And somebody messaged me weeks ago telling me that, yeah, hey, my wife, who I just divorced, is cheating with your husband. You know, your husband, I know him. He coaches my kids. And I'm like, you know, so yeah, it's been an intense day for me. Confirmation of how long this infidelity's been going on in my life and why things adding up and why things were the way they are. It's just like I said, guys, things get more transparent. I mean, I've seen a lot of things in the YouTube community, transparency. I'm seeing so much every day. Yeah, I know I'm stronger. I know I'm strong because that's why I'm being attacked the way I am. I wouldn't be being attacked on these levels and the way that I am if it wasn't for something very extraordinary in some way that I'm a mystic. That's all I can say. And I never even believe, it just is happening this way. That's all I know. You know, and besides all that garbage, they're attacking me in all these ways because of it. It's like, wow, here I am just telling you my thoughts, people, thoughts, and light source and stuff like that, and past ancestry that I can't help. That's just who I am. So yeah, it gets deep. It's really deep for me. It's so deep. I can't even relate to but all you guys in my chat. There's very few people that I can even relate to on this planet like this. Very, very few that can even relate to this kind of thought process of a lot. They don't even care, number one. They don't even care. Like, to me, what I showed you guys, the Yellowstone geyser blasting off on April 16th at 11:22 a.m., that is a sign from God. That was a wake-up call. That was the divine. Okay, I don't know what to tell you guys, but that is still tripping me out. Along with the venom and how it all works. And you can go watch Laura Eisenhower and her beautifully done podcast tonight. You know, I think it's that I don't want to copy it today, but I will tomorrow if the demons don't attack me and I can make it in here and do it, because that video is going to be gone in 2 days. And I think everybody needs to see it. So if you can go over there and watch it, because I don't want to rip off her work of such a beautiful podcast, and it's them saying, you know, her guest. I've seen her on there before too. I don't know her name. It's Aura. I forget her name. But so, you know, sorry, but you know, it's just relevant to go watch the video, and you'll understand what we're under, the type of spiritual attacks that we're under. Now, hey, Lone Rebel. Yeah, yeah. Yep. I don't like to consider myself a victim. I'm not a victim, but they like to victimize me and try to. But it's like this. They like to torture, more like torture. They love to see that. They love to see you. It's like when I seen this video of these friggin' white scrub wearing fucking hazmat fucking programmed individuals in China beating this dog alive. Literally, I just seen this video and I thought I saved it. I was going to show it to you guys, but I can't find it. So, anyways, beating this dog purely alive. And I've done videos on their friggin' sick shit that they do over there with animals and their people, humans, and living beings. So what I'm saying about that is it's just too disturbing. So these demons are worldwide, and this piezoelectricity is not, it's the beast system. And the beast system is us because we're being integrated like cyborgs with metals, heavy metals, and nano fibers, tubes, wires, whatever you like to call them. Under the microscope, they look like tubes, and they're filled with nano dyes, and they're controlled by frequencies, and they're full of heavy metals and chemicals and dyes, and polymers, and graphene. The list goes on. Okay, so thank you. I appreciate that, Brenda. Because I'm being attacked every friggin' angle in my life is being attacked for my friggin' thoughts. For thoughts to try to save people from evil, black magic, the dark side. My dog Daisy, I've let her in and out. She's in here, she's outside, she won't stop whining. The frequencies, like you said, Brenda, the piezoelectric, what is going on? It's not just my animal. Hey, Bang Bang, I thought I seen you. Or not, or I don't know. Anyways, yeah. Hey, her dog's going off. I mean, I don't know what to do. Like, I've done everything. I don't know, like, how to settle a dog that is clawing me, like, as I speak, and is constantly whining. Come on, Daisy. Come on. That's because they are using their weapons on us, and this is a spiritual warfare. It's so spiritual. So I'm going to finish this video, even though I can't hear this. Yes, this man, yes, this is the one that I found through Bang Bang's channel, thanks to her and sharing him, because I don't, listen, YouTube does not let us see new people. I don't even know how a lot of people meet other people. I don't even know how people found me, to be honest with you, unless I'm out of the chat rooms back in the day and I was doing lots of live panels on other people's panels, but I pulled back because of all the shilling, all the fucking agents and all. So I just do my own thing, and then I found out who my real friends are, and I found out who the agents are, so now I can mingle again. See how that works? It's called weeding the gardens, and that's what I've been doing on my channels, and it's working out beautifully. I've weeded the gardens of trolls and people that they just came by my channel and thought, I don't know what they thought, and they're just not part of this vibe. So they moved on, and my tribe's grown even better and bigger. So see how that works? Yeah. So it's just, that's how it works. And this man is I don't know what he's saying because I can't hear anything, but I'm gonna finish this video because he's talking about everything he saw on point. And I've got a video of somebody, a video about people don't believe that there's. I know it's gonna sound outlandish, but cities in the clouds. Yeah, as above, so below. Yeah, this is deep shit, man. This is deep shit. It's getting deep. I've got videos, a more educational video, just to prove to some people out there that think, oh, they're showing these clouds and there's like, they think there's UFOs up there. Like I said, you shouldn't be watching my channel if you don't want to hear stuff like reality, not a simulated one. Well, I show you the simulated too, but here we go.
The whole thing happens. They're going to say, well, before it happens, we're going to have 3 days of darkness. And that gets me back to the shortening of days. I wanted to think about how I wanted to say this. The days will continue to get shorter, and it will be recognizable until eventually around the Thanksgiving time-ish, around that area of the year when this will take place. This will be a warning to us, guys, okay? There will be 3 days of darkness, blackness. I can show you the blackness that will ensue us. I will make a video of this, and I will show you. That stuff that came down in Alaska, that was a long plasma branch or arm reaching in to this earth. That's why they set rockets right up there, jets right up there immediately. They don't want anybody. They had to do something. You know, they can blame it on UFOs now, right? They sent jets up to it. So, anyways, God, I get depressed. I get so off topic that it's crazy. It will eventually lead to 3 days of darkness, and that's when that real thick darkness will come through, where you won't be able to see your hand before your face that the Bible talks about before the rapture. Okay. This will be our warning. We will have a brief time after that, till about Christmas time. December 30th is when this usually happens. They've looked back through rings and trees and magnetic data and in the oceans, and this happens literally on a. It's just like somebody's on a switch. Like it's cyclic, or however you say that. I can never say that word. And this is what Christmas is about, and this is what the 4th of July is about. Them noises you hear at the 4th of July are what we're going to hear during the plasma event. Okay? The Christmas tree, that big star on top of it, it's not about Satan or Jesus Christ. That's about Ezekiel's will in the sky. We're going to see that. We're going to see the real sky when this happens. And they've been trying to tell us this stuff through little subtleties forever that some of us picked up on and some of us just didn't because we didn't have time. It's not your fault. And it sounds crazy, but it's not crazy, guys. It's you look outside. Look what's happening. Look what's happening. The evidence is there. This is that old story about the guy on the roof with the water. And he wants to be saved. And a guy comes up on the boat and the guy says, hop in the boat. And the guy says, no, I'm waiting for Jesus to save me. The guy says, okay, have a good one. He takes off. Another guy comes up. If you haven't heard the story before, another guy comes up. Guy's on the roof. There's a flood. And get in the boat, dude. We got an extra room. He says, no, I have faith in Jesus. He's going to save me, The boat takes off. Well, the guy drowned. If you don't get the moral of the story, then you're probably not laying down what I'm smelling in general. But they don't want any of us knowing this, guys. If any of us knew this information, none of us would work. They wouldn't have the money to put their bunkers in the ground. All the Tyson recalls and all the bird flu and all that chicken stuff, that's all fake. All that food's gone in the bunkers for them. So we can starve and not be able to fend for ourselves. We can't even afford to put a bunker. They're not going to get away with it anyways. You can't be in a bunker because with what we got coming, it's going to shake the ground and it's going to start liquefaction. All the dirt is going to turn to mud, and that's how you get your buildings that sink in the mud that they call the mud flood. That's how the Earth Angels wound up going down in the ground even further and further. It's just life. It's how it is. It's how it is. It's been documented in all the caves with all the Squatter Man and all the Z-pinch plasma evidence in the sky that matter that match all the stuff that has been done in laboratories. It is self-evident at this point that it's going to happen. And to get back to it, yeah. So basically, what's going to happen, like Jeff said, this is all a plan. This is all part of the plan. So all the stuff that's going on over there across, don't feed into it, guys. Don't feed into it. Let them just do whatever. It's all media. I don't care what you're seeing on the computer. I don't care what you're seeing on your phone. It's all fake. If you can't figure out that the world is fake yet, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? Yes, it sounds sad that people are getting bombed with gas and stuff, but they don't do that, dude. They just get you on a train and they shoot you. They got some sick dude that'll take $1 million. Just what same thing they did to the Jews. Just back then they didn't lie it like they do and make it all spectacular. No, they don't. They didn't gas nobody over there. They're not using no gas weapons. If there's that many people missing over there, it's because they damn straight shot them, put them on a train, and got rid of them. They make this world so spectacular. Everything is a movie, and that's the problem with the world. They've got everybody thinking they're in a movie because of these things. I love the interaction that I have with this, but this right here is probably the worst thing ever to mankind. Right here, me doing what I'm doing, being stupid, but trying to help. It's not helping. It is helping, but it's not. Anyway, getting off track. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. That's when the whole thing's going to happen, and that's when World War III will be at its height, and that's when the nuclear war will happen. They may say that they use nuclear weapons a little bit here and there up to that point, but just believe me, I would bet my life on it. My life ain't worth a lot, but it's worth a lot to me. I don't want to die right off. I would be willing to bet that it's from the sky. It's plasma blowing up stuff. They might blow up a few things here and there just to, make sure that, hey, a good con still has to lube his wheels a little bit here and there, to pull it off. You can't have a lie without having to do a little something to keep that lie going. And it's unfortunate that the people just keep feeding into everything because, well, not really. Not really. I know that I think about it. It's a pretty selfish way of thinking about things because you want to get technical. This could be the best thing that could happen to any of us. Because we're going to go from a negative era to a positive era after this. But just wanted to share that because, you ain't got to, and again, like I said this every video, you don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to. I'm not telling anybody to do anything, and I'm not demanding anything. I'm not even asking. The other thing I am asking is do a little research and stay open-minded. Think about why they charge us taxes. Think about why they take our kids. Most of you don't know about the 1666 Proof of Life Act, how they deem us dead at birth, and how you are cattle registered with a birth certificate, and they take your soul. That's why they give them a footprint on that piece of paper. When you're a baby, they take your soul. You're born at dead born. You're dead at birth. Different story. Anyways, this world is not what they tell us at all, not one bit. And I just wanted to share something else really quickly. I put it in the community section. I've posted this picture I drew a few times. This is what I feel the world is. This is our world. This would be Earth. That's basically, I've had this in my dreams a lot. And it's not like this. It would be this one with another one on top of it, and it would look like bed springs meeting. So it'd be a cone going down that way and a cone coming up this way, a cone coming down that way. And it's just a never-ending pattern like that. Just wanted to share. Anybody has any credence or has seen anything like that before, let me know, please, because this is stuff I draw out of my head, stuff that I get. And I'd like to thank everybody for watching. And pretty soon, next couple weeks, going to be a totally different place. We're going to be off grid, so that'll be interesting. Take care. Just wanted to make a quick video and touch base on.
All right, guys. So yeah, I was listening on my phone. That's how I can keep up with it now, despite the sound issues. So yeah, what he's saying there, that looks like to be, and I like his little diagram there. I don't call it little, but that's quite a diagram of what he's seen in his dreams. It's like multi-layered dimensional. So yeah, I liked his channel, guys. I thought that was great, and he's so right. So where I want to go on that was Jeff Snyder too. This is a video I've been wanting to share for weeks, and he's only made like one video since then. And I shared the link to his channel there, guys. But he's so into it, and there's another video he's done that's equally as good as that one. Okay, this is Jeff Snyder 2's channel. And his channels have been erased and stuff, so he's a lot larger than this. But, you know, we have to start over at times. So here he talks about the old plasma, and he captures the plasma, lots of wood, and he that's hit by plasma. And then he shellacks it, and he's going to show you guys that in 4 minutes into this video. And that's where I'm going to start pausing it, because about 4:17, 4:20 into it, he starts talking, and all these friggin' orbs start coming out where he's talking about this plasma and the wood. And I was just tripping over it because there's so many of them in two different instances. So I want to show you guys that these orbs are telling us about the plasma. Okay, so here we go. And he can teach you something too if you don't know about the subject matter, because it's there's a lot to know. And if you want to survive, yeah, we got to learn more, guys, including myself. Okay, here we go.
Won't use too much more coded language, because most of the stuff I'm going to talk about is just fine. No, we don't want to play any solitaire. Thanks. So there's quite a few of my viewers that don't need me to say a word. They can already see what I'm about to say. They already know all of the things that I'm about to say regarding this image. And I'm going to primarily focus on these 4 cars. They all have their hood up. But before I go into this, I'd like to say to those viewers that know what I'm about to say, because as a pattern-seeking primate, you've been paying attention long enough that you can see all the patterns as well. Congratulations, you got your degree in plasmology from Snyder University. I gave my boss a shitty answer the other day when he asked, "What do you do for fun?" I said, "Oh, little this, little that." Later on, I had him in the car alone because at that time, his nephew, that's only 22 years old, was in the truck. But when we were alone in the buggy, I told him about that shitty answer I gave you. I told him a little bit. I told him I got a 4-year degree in plasmology. I explained to him the trees are burning on the inside because something like lightning is coming up out of the ground, and immediately said, "Oh, yeah, I've seen a tree burning all by itself once out in the middle of nowhere. Just all by itself." I think he said it was an aspen or a cedar. I think he said it was a cedar. He's like, just all by itself, sitting there burning. I didn't know whether I should call the services or just wait for it to go out. And he and laughed and chuckled and shrugged his shoulders as he said it. And I went on to tell him a little bit about what I do, cutting the pieces, lacquering them. And I don't tell people. And he said, "Why?" I said, "Because they like to shoot the messenger." He said, "Oh, yeah, I like to tell you you're full of crap and argue with you and stuff." I said, "Yeah, stuff like that, kind of." And then we quickly moved on to another subject. If he wants to, I started out by telling him I was considering doing a little show and tell. and I still am. That's another story. My point was the 4-year degree in plasmology that I spoke of to my boss just the other day, because there was one of these fires right across the street from my work, and he saw it on the same day and made note of it. This is the burn signature of these types of plasma fires that I've been studying for 4 years and bringing home the artifacts and cleaning them up and lacquering them. Don't mind the coffee pot gurgling there. These are the remnants from a roadside car fire. And in the last summer, I was stopping at these roadside car fire remnants, showing you that on the road where cars burned, I can show you the plasma fire signature. I stopped at multiple roadside car fire remains while I was driving truck. And this is some of the remains that I pulled out. Notice the melted metal. Only place this stick is burned is where the melted metal wrapped around it here, and where the melted metal wrapped around it here. And all the smaller twigs that are embedded within the molten metal as it cooled and dried means this car, and I'll include the video in the description, where I stopped on the side of the road and saw the remains of a car fire. This is the bumper of a trailer. That's the melted metal that came off of it. How can you get such a difference in heat from there to there?
All right, okay, did you guys see that first orb? I'm sorry, I had to pause it on my phone. Did you see that first orb? Okay, did you guys see that first orb? Sorry. Did you see that first orb, that white one where he showed when he picked up that metal? It was like that big white one. Okay, get ready, because there's going to be a lot when he says this wood, and he's going to do like this mantra with his hands, and he's going to say something, and I'll stop it at that. That's when these things manifest. He does this mantra. This watch. Oh yeah, it's gonna get really wild. Here we go. It gets juicy, as I say.
So I've been also showing screenshots from other people's videos where we've identified this pattern that the energy draws to the densest. So my point here is I'll put the video link in the description from where this piece came from, and show you that not only is there obvious plasma fire evidence there on the metal, but also on the trees that surround this car that was on the side of the road, or a trailer, boat trailer, jet skis, whatever it was, and a half circle around where the car was on the side of the road. The trees had all the plasma burn signature, burned up one side. I'm going to show you some of these burn signatures where on the trees, there's this black circle pattern where the branch once was protruding and burned back into flush with the tree. There's a few of these in this video. So it's the same type of energy, the same type of fire, and it's the end of the world as you know it for someone to accept this, because the world as they know it only has one kind of fire. There's not two kinds of fire, there's just fire. And so the implications of this are such great magnitude, it means the institutions of the news media, educational institutions, colleges, where's their plasmology department? Why am I the only one doing it? Firefighters, police department, news departments, none of them are what you thought they were once you recognize this has been happening for 4 years, that I've been documenting it thoroughly as I possibly can, shouting it from the rooftops to the point where I know people aren't going to catch on, because no amount of censorship could conceal this if the people's eyes weren't veiled. But also the institutions are keeping it under wraps. Your churches aren't telling you about this. Neither are any of the other institutions. So the implications of this have such magnitude that people say, wait a minute, you're showing me a brand new kind of fire? The trees are burning around on the inside all around us? And they have a cognitive dissonance kick in to where even a chimpanzee would run over to the chimp next to him and go, ooh, 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 and try and get the attention of the other chimpanzees. Say there's clear and present danger. But these talking monkeys around us live in society and civilization, and they take their cue from the other talking monkeys. And they look around and they say, oh, we're not talking about this. Oh, okay. Yeah, shut up, conspiracy theorist. Anyway, back to the video. My point is, type 2 fire, what I call plasma fire, they like to attack the messenger because it pulls the rug right out from under your reality when you truly let it soak in what the implications of this is that I've been doing it now for 4 years. This is the reason for all of the distractions. And as I've said before, I don't believe it's all directed, but there are certain times when it does appear to be. And
Now, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention because I didn't want to stop it because it's hard because I'm listening to my phone and the video's no sound. Did you see it? And he says that are attacking the messenger just before he said attacking the messenger, so orbs fly by. I mean, I want to replay it because I hope that you guys are seeing these. Yeah, detective. Yeah, I'm watching you, detective. Oh, I knew you'd join us. So what I'm saying here is that these orbs are spirits. They are energy telling us that, yes, these are plasma. Yes, this is plasma. He's right. You guys, everybody's attacking the messengers like myself and him and all the other people, as I'm not the only one. Like you guys know how it is in the chat. So whatever, so here's the deal. I don't know if you guys seen that, but I seen it. And I don't know if I have to slow it down or you guys, I don't know, because I have a very trained eye for orbs, like even in my own video earlier, when I seen this dark energy orb, I've never seen one. And I thought I seen it in my video and I was like, no, did I just see what I thought I seen? And I wasn't even gonna go look back at it. But I said, no, I need to look at it and just make sure that it wasn't or it was. And when I went back and looked at it, I couldn't believe it. Because every time I see an orb in people's videos or mine, I go back and every time I'm right. So you have to have a trained eye or you got to be watching. And I don't know. Did you guys see them? You did. Okay, good. I'm glad you've seen them because I could break it down, but there's so many in his video right there. There were so many. I mean, it started right away. So yeah, they're confirming this video. When I seen this, I was just like, wow, because I had just seen some orbs in my video and then he did this and I was just like, gosh, these orbs are really talking to us guys lately. They're saying a lot. Yeah, that's true, Brenda. Like a microwave does, it excites the molecules within, just like they are doing to us. I saw the orbs also. See? Yeah. So yeah, and then this is isn't that beautiful wood? I think it's beautiful. I would buy one. Definitely. I love how he does it and preserves it. But yeah, they hold life. So yeah, I just thought that was really fascinating in that video. Wow, isn't that crazy? Yes, I'm glad I got to share that with you guys. I don't know if you want me to continue, but yeah. And then he's gonna go into more of the fires, but this is just, I'll go a little more into his video.
And this is one of those times when this type of random energy release that I believe is happening naturally all over due to magnetic pole reversal, that same energy can be harnessed. Solar Magnetic Amplification Causative Configurator, SMAC, SMACC, which can can produce and control the timing, intensity, duration, and location of a solar flare, which goes down, energizes the ground, and burns the trees from the inside. They stretch the magnetic field like a rubber band, and then when they let it go and it snaps back into place, that fluctuation in the magnetic field creates a surge of ground current that comes up through the trees. If it strikes in an urban area, it comes up, and just like in the trees, the densest part burns first and hottest, like the potato in the microwave. The denser of those two things in the microwave absorbs the most heat and burns from the inside out using microwave. Same idea. The knot is the densest part of the tree with the most fibers condensely packed into a smaller area. Those fibers work like electrical cords, like copper wire. There's more wire coming into that small area to produce that internal branch. Also, it's the heartwood on the inside that is denser, has more water content, it's more flexible, and it's softer. The outside shell wood is more brittle, it's more lightweight, it is more dry, and it's harder. And it produces a structural lattice for the heartwood to go up in and produce. It's like female wood and male wood. The heartwood is what produces the new branches, which eventually turn into whatever they call the exterior shell wood. My point was, in urban areas, it does the same thing as in the wild. The densest part draws the most energy. And like I show in the video in the description, that car, which clearly got hit by some high intense energy that I retrieved that piece of metal from, had the burn signatures of plasma fire on the trees all around it. So it's the same energy. And in that particular video, it shows both the urban effect of what happens when it hits cars and the rural effect of what happens when it hits trees. So back to the pattern that it leaves as the burn signature when it hits cars. The glass is all completely removed. The door handles are missing. All the plastic lights are typically melted, and the intense level of rust you'll see on the sides. The rims are often melted, and the engine block. Lockheed Martin put out a advertisement for their Athena laser weapon, a fiber optic laser weapon that burns a hole in the hood of the truck that they show in the demonstration of it, because that energy is connecting with the engine block, the densest part. So when that magnetic field is stretched apart like a rubber band and then allowed to snap back together, or if it happens naturally, it can probably be directed by a carrier wave that is just benign with no negative effects. And then once the destroyer frequency of the microwave is sent down that same line of using resonant frequency, it hits its target. Even so specific as I put out a video not too long ago showing a guy with smoke rolling out of his eye sockets. So that energy can be directed. But for the most part, what we're seeing happening around us with the fires, I believe isn't directed, because it pops up in so many random places upon my journeys throughout 9 different states. If anything, they're typically directing it away from urban areas and out into the unpopulated areas on a general basis. But on certain times, they do otherwise. So all of these cars have their hood blown clear up to the windshield, as if the energy not only melted the engine block, but made an explosion under the hood of each of these cars that were supposedly hit with a missile, but the outside of them are not even dented. These are all the plasma fire signatures I've been pointing out for 4 years now, and this is when it pays off in dividends, and I hope it helps, because to the average person, they're like, oh, no, it's war, the poor Ukrainians and all that. But for those that have been paying attention and following along, you can see it. The original video is in the description. Take your own screenshots and zoom in on them for greater clarity. But all 4 of these are missing what appears to be the engine block. I'm not sure about this one. Maybe it was an engine in the rear of the car. I know we'll be able to see a couple of these from the other side. That may be them. But I want you to remember something in this video lineup where you see all 4 cars right there. Down here, you see a red car. I want you to remember that red car because there's another camera position from like this. This is where the camera is located, and it's looking down this direction past that red car where the missile hit, which is right where these 4 cars are. This is the thumbnail photo that they use for this new news broadcast from California that I'm about to go over. Imagine the heartstrings being pulled by the average, upon the average normie who sees this and goes, and can't see that there's something very different going on than what they're being shown. The level of Ganda with this little bloody unicorn is through the roof. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So you can see as the camera just panned around, down here is where it hit. There's that red car parked in front of these buildings, this red brick building with these striped poles in front of them. So I believe that red car is in alignment with the other 4 that got their hoods blown up down here. So we're going to take some closer looks at these. These are 2 from the back that you can also see in that lineup from the front. Their hoods are both blown up. This one's hoods up. This one's hoods up. And you can see because one is angled in at the front towards the other that's straight. You'll recognize these when you're looking at them from the front. The rust on the side panel, you'll notice a lot of rust on the benches that the people were supposedly sitting on at the train station. And I believe that rust is part of this electrolysis that occurs in these plasma fires. And note to the great algorithm in the sky, I'm just here for the plasma fire. This is specifically my jam. I'm going to leave the link in the description from the guy who posted this video. He's more of a multispectral analysis guy. He's covering the current thing. I don't cover the current thing.
Devastation tonight in Ukraine after a powerful missile struck a train station where hundreds of women, children, and elderly citizens were trying to escape the war. At least 50 innocent civilians were killed, nearly 100 wounded.
5 children are among the dead. It is an attack that has drawn global outrage in what Ukrainian president called an evil that has no limits. KTLA's Pedro Rivera joins us with more from the KTLA newsroom. Pedro?
During the last 7 weeks, we've seen it all coming out of Ukraine. Schools bombed, residential buildings targeted, and maternity wards destroyed. But these images coming out of eastern Ukraine Friday may be the most punishing blow delivered by the Russians. A train station packed with civilians targeted, killing dozens. I do want to warn you that some of the video is graphic. This train station was an evacuation center for citizens fleeing the violence in eastern Ukraine. Video from days ago shows hundreds of people lining up to leave ahead of an expected Russian attack. On Friday, that attack came. Blood-soaked teddy bears and luggage are leftover remnants of Russia's latest brutality. Ukrainian officials report 50 people were killed and close to 100 were injured after a Russian missile strike on a train station. The Russian words "for the children" painted on a remaining missile. Officials report at least 5 children were among those killed.
This is another war crime committed by Russia.
And then I got to stop it right there because, oh my gosh, the imagery. This dog and pony show, the greatest show on earth. Remember, this is a movie. So yeah, you can go finish watching this lovely video. But I want to go back to Jeff Snyder.
Only because I can.
there's a video that I have to show you about what Fox News is showing that these soldiers have that I've talked about. Clown Patrol. Yeah, Clown Patrol. All right. Clowns in Action. Yeah, that's what he calls it. That's right. He coined the name Clowns in Action, and I'm actioning it.
So
all
this
day
is
long.
gonna
Okay, so listen. These clowns in action. Hold on. And they're stormtroopers, and they're fake guns. They're wooden guns. Here, I
so
gotta.
they're in that last
I
video.
just got to show you one more time, guys, that these guns are fake as hell. Okay? And this is another Jeff Snyder's. So here we go. Let me make sure it's there. Okay, here we go. Just laying it out there. This is for the old, this is not mainstream. This is so buried. These videos, oh, wow. Somebody shared my video the other day. Thank you, whoever did that. Trolls or something in between, whoever. Thank you. But yeah, so it's not like my videos get that far out there. But here we go. Here's some truth of their garbage that they're putting on Fox fucking News, guys.
That I made only after making it. Did I read it and realize it has this word in it right here? And this word in it right here. And it was created May 4th, 2016. So all you have to do is Google Fox News and the first part of that sentence, and you'll have her. And it gives you varying results in the search engine. Like I got a different result the second time when I searched it the first with this new phone that doesn't even have an algorithm built in yet, really. But this matters more than ever now. But before I trail off, I truly didn't even notice. And this was the beginning of a sequence of events in my life. And to look at that, it's like, what, was it all fake? My whole experience that led me to my come to Jesus moment, seeing this video, was all faked? And if you Google it, that's what you'll find. There's a lot of different articles out there saying it was manipulated. They use the word hoax and fake in this. So my experience wasn't fake, but the results weren't fake. But what if it was clowns in action? And we know that that's who those guys are. And this is from the most recent Three Ring Circus. And if you look closely, you can see that they are made out of plywood in a very specific shape, but they are simply holding wooden dowels. And then you have this guy over here with the colors that you normally associate with this kind of activity, possibly for hypnotic effect. Look closely, they're wooden. They're not even made out of metal. Pieces of wood. Plywood. You can especially see it right here. The depth of the plywood is like a 1/4 inch thick the whole way along. A real pop stick doesn't look like that. Same thing with the top ridge where it's reflecting light. You can see the width of it is equal the whole distance along where it reflects light up here. It's not shadow or lighting that make it, well, you just can't see any definition to it because of the lighting or the shadow. No, that's a freaking piece of wood. And you can see even on the corners where the paint's rubbing off. Again, equal distance on the width of it on this edge right here where the light hits it in such a way that you can see the depth of it, a 1/4 inch even the whole way. Likewise back here. That is a 1/4 inch wide piece of plywood. Likewise with this guy, and he's had a lot more of his paint rub off. You see? They are jerking you around. And they are doing very good job. And you imbecilic Americans fall for it every time. Boris and Natasha is all it took to fool you. You silly American. So, back to the original image. Zoom back out a little bit here so you can see Boris and Boris. We'll even get their graphics in the top there because it's all got the fox.
This is such a laughing matter. I laugh at this. This is so funny. This is not even funny. It's so funny. Oh, the fake news and their fakery. Oh, just like the old Capitol. And I can't even hardly talk about that. And that fakery and T-Man and the fakery behind the fakery. The greatest show on earth. Go right in, guys. Take some pictures while you are at it. Incriminate yourself all day long. Let me let the guards let you in. Oh my God, this is the greatest show on earth.
Seal of approval with the hypnotic graphics in the background and their logo right there. So someone took this picture and sent it to me via text message. And keep in mind, in my last video, I showed you stormtroopers in a crashed Star Wars spaceship on the side of the road that's being broadcast in the Small Hut country on their news channel. So now the normie's going to tell you, well, this was training. It says the Ukrainian civilians take up arms, but that was training. You see, you got the official guy right here with the colors, and these guys are just still in training. This is posing for a photo if I've ever seen it. But that is what the normie will tell you, that they're training. Well, how long do you train? If these guys are like lives in jeopardy, you don't start training with pieces of wood. And the normie will explain this away. And 99.9999999% of normies will never see that. They will go away with the idea that what they just saw in that image was the real hardware pop sticks. And those guys, see what I'm saying? None of them will ever see it. And if anyone by chance like you or me brings it to their attention, they would explain it away and say that was training and someone just snapped a photo and maybe they did pose, but it's still, that's an official guy training some new civilians to do the thing. But really, they won't even take into consideration that theatrics are being mixed in and we're watching thespians, clowns in action.
So yeah, while we're sitting over here watching these clowns in action, and they're these old deniers, and they're like coming at us, the ones that have eyes to see, ears to hear, own it all day long. I'm gonna own it all day long. Yeah, I'm gonna own this. I'm gonna own showing out this shit. Yeah, like I said, show it to the judge. Let me school the clowns in action, please. Please. This is the biggest show the greatest show on earth. Like I said, actors. We got the fucking Zelensky in his fucking S&M gear and his garbagey, that guy. You can't take any of this serious, guys. Like I said, the psyop is they don't want you guys to know that you're going to be starving. This world's going cannibalistic. No electricity, digital dollar, the Great Reset, all the above. That's what it's all about. And then here, we'll go back to Jess Snyder's, and then I gotta go, because quite frankly, this stuff I've already showed you guys. But I'd like to show you the clowns in action, the last part that just blows my friggin' mind. Right here. After you did a little fact checking, what's this?
Frequently, to spook the cattle and make them stampede towards each other, they're resorting to throwing in stormtroopers. Maybe they'll notice that. Here comes the stormtroopers. Bring on the stormtroopers. I'm going to block it till they bring on the stormtroopers. There we go. Here's some stormtroopers. Don't want to show you any other graphic video game images or anything, so that's why I blocked it until they showed just the stormtroopers. Now we're going to zoom in on some stormtroopers. Oh! How did I rewind it too far again? Hold that thought. Zooming in on some stormtroopers. Okay, this time you know I'm not zoomed in too far or rewound too far, and we'll just watch some stormtroopers. This one here is supposed to be another one that's in flames. I'll bring that to your attention. There's his buddy. Yeah, he's still flaming. Flaming.
I'm laughing at something, all right? This is flaming. This is craziness. Oh my gosh. The greatest distraction, yes. Look at that. Oh gosh.
And remember, that's just not some guy on YouTube posting something or some social media. That's their official news network, the Small Hat News Network.
All right. And then Ilea says, someone in chat mentioned Zelensky's music video. I had to look at it. Oh my God, it's disturbing. Much love, Fugel fam. I have not, somebody sent that to me too. I saw the thumbnail for it. I did not watch it yet. Again, he was an actor, is an actor. I mean, you don't just stop being an actor. So I always think about that when I see the headlines like, oh, he made everybody cry at the speech. He's probably done that plenty of times. Bloop. It says President Putin said that the Russian army operation was developing according to the plan.
Yeah, did you hear that? According to the plan. And oh my God, now I stopped that video because I forgot I got to show you something really quick with the plan. Now the plan is here. Attachment leads to jealousy, the shadow of greed that is. Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose. There's the Jedi Master. All right. So listen. What I got to show you is on my playlist. Hold on. This has been happening to me a lot since I came out here. My thoughts go really fast. I was going to show you something. What was I going to show you? Oh, man, it was good too. Oh, here it is. Yes, the Easter Bunny and the color purple rain. Of course, it's all about the purple. And that's what I think everybody just didn't get with the old Easter Bunny and this fucking criminal in the house painted white. All right. That bunny is his handler, obviously, and all the purple symbolism, the crown, the queen, the snake venom, purple. I showed you about the purple Easter eggs of the video I made on Easter, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But let's just go over Chiden. If you didn't see this cocksucker, let's watch him once again. I mean, kidfucker. I mean, cocksucker. Whatever. Same thing.
Pakistan should not, and Afghanistan should be.
Oh, the Easter Bunny, he's Mr. President.
Okay, now Jill is wearing purple, as you could tell. That bitch was wearing purple. So is the bunny, yada yada. It makes me want to puke, right? Okay. The ears right behind her. This right here is the sign of the devil all day long. They got horns. Yes, they do. I was just I see the horns in their Christians churches. They'll make these little horns. Yeah, I seen it on a shirt my daughter was wearing. Had the horns right above the name of the church. Two V's, two horns. This is okay. This is what these people do. Listen. Now, my video that I just did on Easter, let me show you why this is that you need to know about the color purple, purple rain. Like I said, that Prince was taken out. And I don't even follow any of that. I don't like his music or nothing like that. I'm sorry. I just did it. All right. If it offends you, I'm sorry, but it's not my taste. Music. However, this video, hold on, Daisy. I'll just let her out. Do not care. They're not. This video right here of these people and their little Easter egg hunt. Just hold on a minute here. And they're demonic talking. They're demonic shit. They're telling us, guys, you got to listen. They tell you. That's what media is all about. Spell casting. Channeling and spell casting. Now listen to this lady. And she's not even a lady. Just listen. Okay. Every night practically. Because I get microwaved. And this is part of their mechanism. But not these black light ones, but LED bulb lights. Same thing. There'll be a number up there with it.
You have purple street lights that are still illuminating some roads right here in the Triad. The purple street lights continue.
So traveling back and forth from North Carolina to Florida to see my in-laws, we made it like a road trip game. And purple light is every time we get in the car.
It's become a game for some, like Bree Marshall and her family. Whoever counts the most lights wins.
We've played it for almost a year now, every time we're in the car.
These purple street lamps have seen the light of day or night on
this game. You're not ready for it.
many roads in the Carolinas.
Do you see how she picked her words very wisely, and this is scripted? Do you see the light or of day? They are talking about Lucifer all day long in this video, and they are gloating. And I don't know what part it's coming up, but the Easter eggs and the purple. Just listen. Hold on.
From Kernersville to Greensboro, Burlington, and beyond.
You know, the light still functions. It's still safe. It still puts out the same amount of light. It's just really purple.
Duke Energy spokesperson Jeff Brooks told WFMY that the lights are purple because the laminate put on the light to make it white has worn off. It's a factory malfunction, but they aren't dangerous.
We do want to repair them, and the best way we can do that is to find out where they are, and then we can get our crews out there to replace them.
The bulbs are still under warranty, so the manufacturer is paying to change them. The best way to help fix this problem is to report it to Duke Energy when you see a purple light.
We're doing our best to get out there and replace them as we find out about them. We do have crews that look for them, but our best resource often is our customers who see them at night, can help us identify them. And then once we know where they are, we can come out and repair them.
The agency has launched a statewide investigation now. But it's not just FDOT. There are purple lights on local streets, too, on McGuire Boulevard along Vineland Road. It goes far beyond Florida.
There's even a national issue with this manufacturer and this type of fixture.
Utility companies all over are responding. OUC says less than 1% of its LED lights are malfunctioning, saying when one is discovered, it's replaced within 24 to 48 hours. So FDOT is hoping to have all these lights fixed by April. They say the company is providing free replacements, so that's really nice. Less money they have to shell out. And we are seeing it on Orlando streets. OUC says, let them know. They'll fix it. We've posted the link on our website where you can report it.
Now I feel like I think it's pretty, but probably not the best visibility, right?
So some of you might be like, yeah, Homeland Security to monitor these people because they don't want people to notice it. So if you notice this type of stuff, you're pretty much a threat to our government and our society, just like people who speak about a lot of things that they don't want you to speak about. That's why we're the new threat in America are Americans who question things, right? So don't.
Yeah, like me, questioning things. I don't know where that part of the video was. It just says the purple. They're talking about putting all the purple eggs in the basket. Okay, purple is the queen all day long. If you don't know that, and I'll hold on. I gotta let Daisy in. And yes, the churches. It does not surprise me that they are using purple lights because I'm going to show you what video to go watch. I don't want to play her video right now. I will tomorrow, possibly, if I feel up to it and can. Hold on a minute. This is a video that I would like you guys to go watch. If you would like to go lift your light and understand how the system's working and things. Hold on. Because, yeah, this venom and these churches, they're part of it. They took the beast. They promoted the beast. They promote the flu. So, come on. So, the old cobras. And that was my dream snake, was a king cobra. Yes, when I was back in the day when I was into reptile breeding and, all that garbage with my husband. Yeah, but no, I mean, they're beautiful snakes and they're not all venomous and like that, but they've been used, they've been taken advantage of, they've been manipulated. And this is going to show you how this has been being done and throughout our timelines and these reptilian brains and how it rubs off. And it's and how the mechanism works, how it all works. This video is seriously going to, and it's going to show you that actually what part I would really advise everybody to, you got to stay with this video to the whole end. You really do, because the end's where it's at. I'm going to tell you about this is, can you guys see my screen? Okay, good. So yeah, okay, here. So this is all graphene and we're magnets, right? But also she's going to show you guys, I hope, the Hydra. Yeah, they're going to cover this Hydra right here. And I told you guys, when I talk about me using my swords are sharp. I'm cutting off the heads of Hydra. In a lot of ways. This video is going to explain to you how you can do it. Even if you've taken the venom. They say mind over matter, right? Well, and detoxing, like I said, zeolites, heavy metals. I've tried to tell these people this, but they don't want to listen. I guess they dislike it. I don't know. I wonder. Because, I've explained this and how I've done the best I can. Which girl? Who is this? Oh yeah, I'm on the borderline. There's a lot of reasons why I watch, but I get it. I get a lot. Okay. So like I said, I'm showing you guys things for certain reasons, and I've already said things about certain channels for certain reasons, for certain things, and what I think about things. But that has nothing to do with the research. So I'm not showing her video. I'm just showing you that clip right here of what Hydra, of these self-replicating things, okay? And that's in the water, guys. You think that that's in I'm not water. I'm sorry, take that back. I believe Hydra has been in the clouds, coming down in the rain. And like I said, these animals drink it. These cats, This is a reptile, like a reptile type of brain. All these animals are drinking hydra, water. Everything is ingrained in a lot of ways. Okay, I just believe that because I told you the research of Donnie from Daytona, and he used to take his microscope and show you what was under the water. And then he got really highly targeted and something, he's really changed a lot, and he put everything on Patreon. And somewhere in my videos on the beginning of my channel, I've recorded and they're in my videos embedded that I've showed, but I don't know where they are. I'm not about to go look for them. So it breaks my heart too. Yeah, so it's emitting a frequency. That's why when people turn on their phones, tracking devices, mine's dead, thank goodness. Yeah, you can Bluetooth and see how many people are around you that are emitting these a signal. So that's where that's where it's at, guys. So I thought I'd just bring that to you tonight and lay off the old drama of my life and expose some more stuff, whatever came out of my box of madness. All right, guys. Well, I guess that breaks my heart too. It all breaks my heart. It all breaks my heart. It really does. And I think that if you guys just want to know, and some people, you know, are not even watching that movie. And you know, as far as the water and stuff, I'd be watching the water because it has fluoride in it anyway. So filter all your water anyways. You know, I mean, that should have been being done for a long time now, right, guys? So yeah, and as far as the venom and all, yeah. So I don't know what to say, but yeah, pure blood. So I'm going to stay that way for many reasons. My body, my temple, all day long. All right, guys, I love you. Go lift your light. However, thanks for hanging out with me, the one that's been on this roller coaster with the sun, the solar flares, the X flares, the CMEs. Yep, plasma and people being plasma possessed, including animals like the owl here in Atlanta attacking people. It's happening worldwide, guys. So what I have to say is because of that X flare, and I shared that. I've been using the community thing a little because I can do it from my phone, and I just started learning. And when I see a video and I like something or a post, I can share it. Oh, yeah, I'm way behind on some things, I know. So I'm learning every day. So I decided to say, as I shared some information, you know, these current things going on with the sun and different garbage in our world. And yeah, I'm just doing my part. Just sharing is caring. So don't say that I didn't share things out there, guys, because I have. And I am, and I continue to do it. All right, guys, I love you. Good night. Yeah, I'll call you mana. Yeah, mana. I try to drink some mana, which to me is anything green, really. But I was doing some matcha. And because my intake of solid food lately is very little, the matcha hit me really fast. It makes me feel really sick. So I got to be careful on that. But yeah, go lift your light, guys. And I will see you tomorrow sometime, I think. Probably, most likely. All right. I love you guys. Until then, sweet dreams. And night-night. Much love. Good night, guys.